Hello, this is Audio Heads, and we are going to discuss the sad tale of Robert and his father and their sad trip to the Fenlands. I don't know what that is, the Fens, and how Robert was changed by the process, and how rich people don't fucking care and will perfectly willing to let people die or get killed or get murdered on their property and just don't have. So posh people kind of suck. So okay, I've got Lee here to discuss it with me, and this is Geek Assembled Audio Heads and The Night of the Wolf by what's his name?
Victor Pemberton. Victor Pemberton.
Victor Pemberton, who worked for Doctor Who. And I just couldn't remember his name for a second. And it's got Vincent Price and Coral Brown, and Vincent Price and Coral Brown are married, actually. Were married, actually. IRL. So over to you, Lee. What's your opening thoughts on Night of the Wolf?
Let's see. Let's go back to Victor Pemberton. Sure. One-time script editor of Doctor Who, back in the 60s. Wrote the Fury from the Deep.
Yes.
And the Pescatons. So he created the sonic screwdriver. Basically, I met Victor Pemberton in the mid 1990s. He's no longer with us now, but he seemed a really nice guy. They say to his writing credit for Doctor Who, that was all it was really, apart from the audio play, the Pescatons.
The Pescatons, yeah.
With
Sarah Jane Smith.
Yeah, I mean, he was an actor as well before he did all the script editing, and I think he appeared in, I think it was the Moon Base. But yeah, he's such a nice guy. I mean, I only met him for maybe about 10 minutes, in an autograph queue and stuff like that, but seemed a really nice guy. And I didn't realize when we picked this to do, to review this, that he actually had written this. So
yeah.
There's always a Who connection at some point. What we do, I don't, and it's usually by serendipity, isn't it? We don't really.
Yeah, it's just a thread through our whole. Yeah.
There's always connection. I mean, there is another Doctor Who connection in this, but with the actor playing Griffin in this, Michael Cochrane.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but go ahead, talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in a couple of TV episodes of Doctor Who back in the 80s, and done a few of the audios by Big Finish. A really good actor, a very distinguished voice. But this was done in 1975, so he'd have been a young whippersnapper back then.
And he played a character named Griffin.
Griffin, yes. An undergraduate.
Yep.
But going back to the, as you say, Vincent Price and Coral Brown. They say this was 1975. They got married in 1974. They met on the set of the movie Theatre of Blood.
The Theatre of Blood, which we've already reviewed.
Yeah. So love at first sight apparently, and they were married until they passed away. And in this audio, you can't tell that they're husband and wife, because Mrs. Northcott is a bit of a nasty piece of work.
Oh God.
No. Oh yeah. But we'll get to that in a bit. You can tell this is an old BBC radio play. the way it's produced, the way it's made. Nowadays, audio drama, radio plays are made differently, written differently, and you can tell this is the old school.
Yeah, they don't even mention a director.
That's true. That is true.
It was probably just, do your best, go out there, do it, and we'll cut it together.
Yeah, I mean, in the old, I'll call it old school audio plays, is you've got more and more descriptive speeches in the old school of audio plays. Nowadays, they get the writing and the acting, they get around describing everything they're having to do in a very good way. But back then, it was just I am doing this, I'm doing that, and there was a lot of this. But you can date a play by how much description there is. But that doesn't take away from what the story is. It's a story of Judge Deacon, played by Vincent Price, who's come across from America to England in search of his son, and who he's told that his son is dead.
Yeah.
But he will not accept that.
And it turns out he really wasn't.
He really wasn't. But by the end of the play, he is. But,
that was short-lived light and excitement for him.
Oh yeah. I mean, as you say, I just love. I mean, every time Vincent Price is speaking, his voice, it's so iconic. It just sends. I mean, he wasn't playing the villain in this. There was no villainy on his part in this story, apart from him being a judge who would send someone to the gallows without a second thought.
Yep.
But I mean, the villainy in this is sort of Mrs. Northcott, a bit of a nasty piece of work.
Like I said, rich people suck.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody is lying to him about his son, and you can see his desperation, wanting to find his son. It's the setting of this, in England. You a good ghost story or a horror story, it's got to be in England. I don't know why. Either in England or Transylvania.
Well, yeah.
Or Maine in America, where Stephen King sets all is. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, this is the first time I've ever heard this. So
me too.
It's as I say, it's an old school radio play, but it's enjoyable. There's a lot of back and forth talking, but that's what they used to do. This is the old type of way they did it. So yeah, I enjoyed this. It was a fun listen.
Yeah.
Back to you, Susan.
Thank you. I agree. It was quite it was quite intense the way Vincent Price said over and over and over and over and over and over again, my son. I mean that, and he was just like, at times it was like ambivalent, and at times it was full of fear, and at times it was full of love, and at times it was full of terror, I suppose. And so when Vincent Price is talking when he's talking about his son Robert, played by Peter Whitman, and he's not really heard much until the end. But yeah, so Elizabeth Proud played Dorothy, and Dorothy was Robert's paramour. And I never heard of Elizabeth Proud, never heard of Peter Whitman, but you know, that cackling laughter and that, and you know, there was no relationship shown there.
Yeah.
They weren't really in the same scene ever together until the very end, and that was only a little bit of laughter. It was, you know, you had to go with a lot of the what the Judge Deacon was saying, because it's like, that's what, I mean, that's really the only clue as to any of the relationships in this thing, is what Deacon was saying. And so you had to kind of believe him. And there was so much, you know, reliance on Christianity that was, and that's kind of what was going on in the colonies. Oh, wait, where go my eyebrows? In the colonies, there were a lot of people who were super hyper religious at that point, and spent every waking moment, you know, trying to achieve good things for God. And that's what apparently this judge was trying to do. And Coral Brown, oh gosh, she nailed it. The first time I saw her was in a movie called American Dreamer. She played Tom Conti's character's mother, who was the nom de plume of Tom Conti's character. And she kind of went along with everything because she'd read all of his books. So when the person in the movie got amnesia, she went along with everything. Anyway, she was really fun, and she has great presence on screen. You just wanted to, no matter how intense the rest of the love interest and the husband of the woman coming back to kill her, all of that happened on screen, she carried it. And she was actually stealing the screen from Tom Conti, which is hard because he's gorgeous and stuff. I mean, I don't know about his politics anyway. I'm not gonna get sidetracked too far, but Coral Brown's a great actress. And let me tell you, you know, Dorothy Horcott is, or excuse me, Mrs. Horcott was so wicked. She was like, you just have to let it go. You can't go there. You can't go there. You can't go there. You know, you just have to, you know, believe us when whatever we say, anything about anything, and you have to just forget your son and all this stuff. And she's just so intense about that. And so I just thought that, you know, wow, that was really incredible, actually. It was, yeah, she had it was a hell of a thing. And it was like, because we're posh, you won't get any answers. Because we're posh, you won't get any justice. Because we're posh, you won't get any time to grieve. Because we're posh, we're going to block you from doing anything. Because we're posh, you just won't have any access to anything that you need. to find your son. And you know, I was just like, posh people suck. It's kind of like
True.
that Sherlock one that we watched the other day. Anyway, so there were lots of side characters and stuff. Um, but it was produced by John Tegan, but there was no director. And when you hear Carl Brown achieve that and Vincent Price achieve that, maybe they didn't need a director. You know, maybe they just didn't need it. Anyway, so what are your favorite moments?
Well, favorite, but also you for favorite moments. You mentioned the Fenlands in England. They're on the east coast of England. They're about 115 miles south of where I am. So round about the Lincoln area, down that way.
Let's see.
So on the east coast of England. So it's not really far from me. For 150, so about 115 miles from me. So if you get, that's a bit of geography lesson for you there, Susan. So I hope that
They spoke posh.
Yeah. Are you saying I don't speak posh?
It's okay. Just go on.
Oh, all right. Okay. Take the Fifth Amendment. Okay. Favorite moments. I did like the scene where I can't remember, it was Northcote's daughter came knocking on Vincent Price's door at night.
Yeah.
She was telling him about her mother being insane and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
but also as well, you got the idea as well. She was a bit sex starved.
Yes.
And that scene was really well put together and well acted. And then it was all interrupted by Mrs. Northcott as well. The scene where they dig the grave, the coffin up, and discover it's not his son's body.
Yeah.
Is so well done. I love that. And the end scenes with him and his son. He sat there in the dark, telling his father to just keep his distance, and the boy's so frightened, and and then his father just starts ripping I think it was the curtains and stuff. You need sunlight in here. You need the light. You need, so well done, so well acted.
Yeah.
So there are a few of my favorite things. What about you?
Well, I was going to say the digging up of the son and discovering that it was just a bunch of meaty bones or whatever.
It was some other character had gone missing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the painful when the son was shot by the other guy. Was shot by Nicholas. Is he the one who shot him? Or was it Sir Richard? I don't remember who shot him, but yeah, that was incredibly sad. Because there was so much, God and power and the light of the Lord and all that stuff in this. I thought
silver bullets.
What?
Silver bullets.
And what?
Silver bullets.
Oh, silver bullets, yes. And because there was all of that, I was like hopeful. that they would discover him and there was something that would happen, some supernatural exchange or whatever. It was all talking about saving the son, the souls, the son of the soul of the sun, excuse me. And yeah, so that was so sad.
Well, not every horror supernatural story has an happy ending.
No, most of them don't, but this one I was hoping would. Okay, like I got the first time hearing it, and I had my high hopes. Anyway, that was really sad. And the other thing that I really liked was the confrontation with the what's her name, Horcott,
Northcott.
Northcott. Yeah, Mrs. Northcott was that confrontation was great. And after not read, but listened to this, the thing with the thing I discovered when I discovered that Vincent Price and Coral Brown were married, I went back and kind of perused that again, and there's no way in hell you could tell.
No.
That confrontation, just like, whoa.
She was so cold.
Yeah, she was definitely.
And in real life, they were so deeply in love together.
Yeah, and in real life, she was such a charmer. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I just think
and she, as far as I remember, she was an Australian actress.
Yeah, she wasn't American.
So she wasn't American, but I think she was an Australian actress, but a damn fine English accent.
Yeah, her posh. When she was with Tom Conti, she also had posh accent, then perfect received pronunciation and junk. I was just like, yeah, I really love Coral Brown. I think that American Dreamer, we should totally review that someday. But this weekend we're doing Vincent Price stuff. And so to begin with, this is like in the middle to basically 20 years before he stopped doing stuff. And it was good. It was really, really tremendous acting and stuff. And so we're going to do something from something that he did in the 50s and something that he did in the
in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah. So we got some other things that are coming up this weekend that are really cool. And so we should all know more about Vincent Price. And
well, this is it was with Vincent Price. He no matter what he did, he had such screen presence.
Yes.
He mainly played villains in horror movies, but now every now and again he played just the leading man, a hero, like in this audio. But such screen presence. But this, without the screen, you realize how much his voice was so much part of what he did.
Yeah,
it's his voice.
Exactly. Yeah, that, that's why Jacko's people put him in Thriller.
Yeah, because you couldn't, of all the horror icon actors of that ilk, you couldn't see Peter Cushing doing that Thriller rap. You couldn't see Christopher Lee doing that.
Does heavy metal, but
Christopher Lee did a heavy metal album.
He never
it was
did the pop
Price's voice.
Right. He never did the pop stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
Vincent Price did, because Vincent Price could do like damn near anything. And I just thought that this was amazing. And to find out that he and Coral Brown were married before this, in Theater of Blood,
Well,
maybe
the,
we
the, the,
talked about that
they
before.
got married in,
Go ahead.
yeah, they got married in 74. I think Theatre of Blood was 73. So they met on the set of Theatre of Blood, got married in 74, I think it was. And I think this was recorded in 74, but not broadcast until 75.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It was it was definitely uh it was definitely good to know that they were together.
And you would never tell that they were madly, deeply in love by this audio.
No,
But that is a sign of good acting.
it is. It truly is. So, what's your final say and score?
For all what it is, a good story, paced well as well. A good paced story. There's a lot of talking. I've got to admit, there's a lot of talking in this. But as I say, it's just an eerie, old English spine chiller story. With not a happy ending. With a great cast. So I'm gonna. It is a bit dated because they say it's old school radio drama. So I'm giving this a 9. 9 howls out of 10.
Nice. Well, yeah, this brought up a lot of research, and it caused me to dig deeper into certain things, and to re-listen to bits, and so I really liked it, and I'll give this an 8.5 silver bullets out of 10. And I would suggest it strongly for a winter's night or whatever. Just look at, I mean, um, oh, and it was, BBC.
Oh yeah, the BBC Radiophonic Workshop.
Yes, BBC are fantastic, and the Radiophonic Workshop are awesome. Anyway, yeah, so 8.5 silver bullets out of 10, and Lee gave it 9 howls out of 10, and we would just suggest that Posh People Suck, and that, you know, try and stay, don't get bitten, don't get sucked into strange relationships with howling women.
But if you love audio drama, get bitten by that bug.
Oh heck yeah! Oh heck yeah! That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's a good one. And if your eyes go wonky like mine do anymore, you see it over there and it's stuck. You can listen to any book on audio, and even if it's completely descriptive and stuff, whatever. It's the thing is fantastic. And thanks, Lee, for joining me. Please like and subscribe to our channel, Geeks Assembled, where you are watching this right at this very minute. Sorry, my green screen's getting a little something like that. Anyway,
it's the full moon coming through.
it's the, oh my gosh, that church scene, where the one that you were talking about, that was so cool.
Yeah, yeah. There were so many cool scenes,
Yeah.
and everybody in this was sort of given equal bite of the cherry
Yes.
to to chew the scenery.
Yes. That was true too. So subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notification, and please join us, won't you? Put your mouth and your passion for things, Kiki, behind you, and come join us. And we'd love to have you. You got to be 18, have a camera, a microphone, and a Zoom, and you're connected. And so thank you for watching, and we'll see you later on this weekend for more of the Vincent Price weekend. And with House of Blood, House of Long Shadows, and what's the other one called?
It's called House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill. So we're going house hunting with Vincent Price. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Have fun.
Bye.